Good morning to everyone. This is the Power of Healing with Utabi. I'm not sure whether it's morning or afternoon, but yeah. As you can see today, we're going to be touching base on the critical stage of spirituality, where your ancestors no longer want you to consult, but to act on the resolution given from consultations. So you get people who are in the critical stage now where everything you are actually everything is going to fall apart, either going to fall apart, or you are at that stage where your ancestors are like, listen, we've tried all that we can, we've tried to show you things, we've tried to send you to mentors, but you are actually or gobelas, and but to Nanje you are not listening. So what we are going to do is going to Tina Sizo Puma Guwe. Or sometimes you get to the stage where they say it's either you do into the you serve the purpose, or we mess up your life, or now Tina Sizongenelela and show you that you never had a choice in this. So it's a critical stage where they actually don't want you to consult for the mere fact that you always consult, but you don't get to do the resolutions given, or you don't act to the resolutions given. So you must understand, guys, there's three types of people. And this week it's just been interesting because I'm getting mostly people who are in the critical stage, right? So there's three types of people. There's people that are on discovery stage, which we call the spiritual awakening, where you now you can feel that I'm gifted, I'm spiritually gifted, I have a gift of clairvoyance or a gift of cognizance. I see things happen. That's a spiritual awakening. And then the stage where your dreams are a bit confusing sometimes, because sometimes you dream of patterns, sometimes you dream of spirit, sort of like spirit attacks or spiritual attacks, but it's not necessarily spiritual attacks. Like you can dream of dragons and very weird creatures coming, creatures with red eyes, blue eyes, coming forth and sort of like fighting you, and now you have to pray. That's spiritual awakening, because it's not necessarily that I think I did make a video about this, about those dreams. It's not necessarily that you are fighting a demon or an evil spirit, but it's just your ancestors showing that you have a gift of prayer. So they're just testing you to see that can you follow through, do you understand what you have. And sometimes, unfortunately, they do it through fear. So that's the stage of a discovery, guys, where your spirit is awakened. Your dreams are a bit all over the place. They're not clear. It's either you see animals, you see dogs chasing you, you see snakes chasing you, but they don't get to you. You see patterns, you see colors, you see clouds. They don't make sense. They're not clear of the message. That so some of the dreams, manje ula, ksasa ula, you understand? Like liba in so many places at once. That's spiritual awakening. And then you get people who are in the space of, or in the stage of learning, where I now call it the naive stage, where you seem to have this idea, or you seem to have this idea, that you have a choice in how your spiritual journey should run, or you have a choice of how it should be, and you seem to be thinking you can actually pick and choose which ancestors must which spirit guides you want. So basically you are in this naive space that this is a choice. It's not a choice. You don't even choose who you want to go, who the spirit guides that you want, the chief spirit that you have. You don't choose that. So those people are very naive because they have this idea of supernatural powers that just happen, and there's no purpose for it, but I just have this strength or this sort of control of the universe. So that's a learning phase where you still have to learn ukuthi uhamba nobani, what's going on. And in this case, you get that the dreams are now more or less becoming clearer, depending on your spiritual growth and how much you have gained in the discovery stage and how much you are willing to accept in the learning stages. And this is the stage where you get hearsay, you consult a lot, hearsay of this, hearsay of that, and also you read books, you watch videos. This is basically a learning stage where you want to learn about you and who you are. But all of these stages are dependent. So the time frame of all of these stages is dependent on you and your willingness to grow. Okay? So with the naive stage, if you are in this learning stage, which is now, I don't know, these people feel like there's a switch button when you can turn on and off whenever you like it. There's no switch button in this thing. That is why, and I did explain that there's a difference between somebody who's spiritually gifted and someone who's spiritually called. Who has a spiritual calling, who has a spiritual gift, it's totally different. So the learning stage is where you get to discover, and for some, the learning stage is when, unfortunately, you some are introduced to the ancestors themselves, and then some are basically initiated. So it depends on your growth. The learning stage depends on really who and when, how much you are willing to learn, and how much you're willing to give and give up at the same time. Now, so when I say give up, I'm talking about the physical domination of your being, whether you are willing to give up part of it, because there's a problem with the learning phase or the naive stage, where you want to attend to it in a physical mindset, and it doesn't work like that. So you want to mix this. You want to mix the physical and the spiritual, or you want to bring the spiritual journey into the physical, and it doesn't make sense. The spiritual journey is totally different, because into yenyama, and the flesh, there's temptations within the flesh. There's a lot of things. So if you want now to uitata the spiritual and turn it into something physical which is going to be beneficial to you physically, now I'm not saying there's no benefit in the spiritual journey and spiritual growth. There is, but it's just that you don't mix it with a lot of things that are physical, because then it won't make sense to you, or you'll get confused. So basically the learning stage becomes confusing as well to some, because now you're learning this and you have to de-learn this and relearn this. So it becomes very, very, very confusing. Now, what I want to talk about and touch base on is the critical stage, which is now the mentoring stage, where your ancestors really don't want you to consult anymore for the sake of consulting and getting to know them. But now that's the resolution stage, where you have to be acting on what you've been gathering throughout, from discovery stage to learning stage. And now they want you to act. Basically, in this stage, it's where it's either you are mentored to work or to get to the final destination of your journey. So with the critical stage, guys. So when somebody who's on the critical stage comes to consult, usually what happens is that the ancestors no longer give you a whole lot of information about the chief spirit and who the chief spirit go to nani. Already you know nani. Already you've been through that. And you can sometimes you can even tell the dreams that you're dreaming. So in this stage, basically you just need mentoring to get to the final destination and get resolutions to get to the final. Phakamisa amandla akho, uphakamisa ithunywa or uphakamisa the spirit guides or gather the spirit guides or ukhuphula isithunywa. Those it's basically about now amandla akho and the stage where you should be working. In most cases you get that umuntu oku the final critical stage, which is the mentoring stage, and seke yenzile, seke initiated already, just that unknowingly you don't know. So sometimes you get that here it's just resolution. So sometimes you get that when you consult, people would say fane kwenze kanje kanje kanje, and they don't give you much details. It's not that they're not giving you much details because abafuni or they're fake. You are in the critical, your ancestors basically are tired of you consulting because they know, you know what, sometimes they're like, okay, we know who's a consultant, then ayekele endleleni. We are consultant, and then as he's told or she's told what to do, then she goes back to the naive stage and still think she has a choice. So now what they do is then they push you away and say, okay, nathi siphume kuyo. And sometimes you get now dangerous dreams where you see amanzi endlini, you see yourself umbathwa umifula, you see yourself flying to another place you don't know, you see yourself being taken to another country. In those dreams, that's why that's warning signs that no, listen, at this point in your life you are supposed to be doing a lot. Because I remember I said when I did a video about having a relationship with your spirit guides or ancestral spirits, that I said munabantu who are supposed to be who have a calling not merely because they are here for themselves but to help others. So when you delay your process, you are delaying abantu efanele ngabe uyabasiza, people who need to be healing, that needs to be healing through you, or that you need to be helping. So in this case, in this stage, you'd get that already when you do things for other people, like you pray for them, they actually get healed. You go critical stage. It's a matter of completing what's supposed to be done, so that isn't zizolunga. So a lot of people abagule stage really know who they are, even though, okay, there are times when you just have to correct here and there, and just give them a light, which is insight. And that is basically mentoring and coaching. That is basically mentoring and coaching you to the right, and so that you don't get lost in your path. It's just minor things. And this is the stage where everything now has just gone wrong, for some. So we just need to get resolutions. Okay, kushoda kuphi, azange kulungiswe kuphi, and then we fix that so that you get to your final destination. It is not about the journey, guys. The road is really not about the journey, but the destination at hand. So that's the critical stage. In the critical stage, why am I saying it's critical? Because I'm a warning signs that you get from in this stage, saying you are in trouble. It's just that you're not aware that you are in trouble. But when you are in trouble, and you don't want to get to the point where now things so when izinto ngenkani, now there's force coming in with you need to do this, you need to do that, because people can, as I said, and I'm still going to repeat it. Abanye abantu are waiting for you to complete your journey so they complete theirs. And utholguti, within those people that you're supposed to help, there's one that has a very important journey or a very important purpose. So you are basically delaying them. So yeah, so there is a critical stage, guys, and a lot of people are in the critical stage now. So when you go to consult, sometimes you get people saying, I mean, angiboni nix ngawe. There's a shutdown. Your spirit guides and your ancestral spirits have actually shut down from you. It's not really blockage, but they've just shut down on you. No dreams anymore, nothing, because they know you dream and dream and dream and do nothing. They know we give you visions, we give you messages, nothing. So shut down. And now to get to the point where now we have good channel and ask them. It's very difficult to channel for someone. Down. I always say ancestors are very short-tempered when it comes, or spirit guides are very short-tempered when it comes to a journey, a journey of a calling. So they are very impatient, and you are lucky if they have given you a long rope until your 30s, 40s, 50s. You are very lucky because they are very impatient. So, but there is a time when they just do a shutdown. And then you'd find that I'm poopy and all of this. But really because there's nothing that you do. So in this stage you get that amaphupho are more clearer when they no longer come forth as animals. You do get those dreams where there's animals and kids involved, but now they come as themselves. When you've reached the stage of critical stage or mentoring stage, you just need a mentor to actually help you align your spiritual, or you've already aligned your spiritual being with your physical being, but you need to go to that we have to do, so that, or inkambuluko that we have to do, so that the cleansing that we have to do, so that kuzovuleka lento onayo. Okay, so with the learning stage, you get that you're already, if you are willing still, your physical is aligned to your spiritual. That's why we do alignment. So yeah, so that's things, guys. Also, you must understand, we live in a world that doesn't make sense, and it is you that has to make sense of yourself. So if you're going to rely on the world to make sense for you, you are still going to get lost and confused. What you need to do in a world like that, or in a world that makes no sense, you have to make sense for yourself. So you have to grow. So you have to gain wisdom and maturity so that you move forward. Because if you're going to rely kakhulu on what the world says, or what you're going to get confused even more, and you will get to the critical stage without learning anything. With the spiritual calling, nothing makes sense in a normal manner. Hence I say, don't try to attend it with your physical mindset and mentality. That's what I wanted to say, guys. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Shap shap.